What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Memphis Conservative channel. If you hadn't subscribed already, subscribe and hit that like button and share this video and comment down below. So shout out to the Daily Caller for this one. This right here happened on the 24th, was about 2 days ago. Pete Hegseth'S was doing a briefing, and TMZ decided to crash it, and it said it went exactly as you expect. But anyway, but TMZ decided to crash it. I thought it was a dumb question. That had nothing to do with anything really. But they decided to crash his briefing to, I guess try to throw him off his square or whatever, however you want to, call it or say it. And so we're gonna get right into this. A TMC DC reporter asked War Secretary Pete Hegseth on Friday how he feels whenever the U.S. military drops bombs on targets. During Friday's Pentagon press briefing, a reporter from TMZ's new Washington, D.C. bureau asked Hegseth if he ever gets an adrenaline rush, feels scared, or feels like he's on a power trip when he orders a U.S. bombing campaign. Okay. Normally, when I try to play the little quick video, it lags or whatever for some reason. So I got the Daily Caller on my phone too as well. So I'm gonna play this 2 minute video. It's the same video as you can see right there. Play it through the microphone from my phone. Here goes.
Right here, new members of our press corps here.
Jacob Wasserman with TMZ DC. We have two questions. I'm going to ask the first. My colleague will ask the second. I've heard you talk a lot about.
We'll see.
Sorry?
We'll see.
Okay. I've heard you talk a lot about bombing people and places. And when you give these orders to carry out this extreme level of violence, what's going through your mind and your body? Do you have like an adrenaline rush? Are you scared? Do you feel like you're on a power trip? Just walk us through and paint us a picture of what it feels like mentally and physically.
It's a very TMZ question. My only thought process is to ensure that our warfighters have everything they need to be successful, defeat and destroy the enemy, and they come home. I want them to feel empowered, to have every authority they need within our rules and within our law to bring maximum violence to the enemy, because war is violent. War requires doing difficult things, but I want our people to feel empowered. So it's our guys that come home and their guys that do not.
And
sure, I'll give you one chance.
Charlie Cotton from Teams EDC. You changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Would you consider changing the name again to the Department of Peace, since that's what we're all after?
Well, that's the pursuit. It's a great question, actually. You go from defense to war because you want to be proactive about peace through strength. And really, I gave a speech in front of generals about what the ethos of the War Department is all about, because I wanted to go through every echelon of this department. It means something. It's not just words. And when you fight a war the right way, the idea is on the other side, you bring about peace. That is what we'd like to see the most. In fact, I once did a video about the one institution that should win the Nobel Peace Prize every single year is the United States military, because we're the guarantor of the safety and security of not just of our country, but of a lot of people in this world. Last question. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I do appreciate your time. Since February 28, 725 drones will ally, killing 22 people and injuring 100 others, even after the ceasefire.
So okay, there you have it. And actually, when he read that, so when they do these video clips, they actually rewrites it up under there. So that's why I was following along and I was, going down. So I really don't have to read all of that, because actually he had said all of this already from when he started talking up here toward the top to the bottom. Now, I want to address this right here. First of all, when he said you change the Department of Defense to the Department of War, would you consider changing the name again to the Department of Peace? Okay, here's what I got a problem with that is, and I put it up right here on my phone. The original name of the department established on August 7th, 1789, was the United States Department of War. It was frequently referred to as the War Office and was responsible for managing the Army and Navy until 1798. The name was changed to the National Military Establishment in 1947, then to the Department of Defense in 1949. The thing is, and that's why I had, because when they had changed the name from the Department of Defense to the Department of War, a lot of people had a problem with it. Me, I just think it had more majority to do with TDS or whatever. Or a lot of people just didn't know the history of that. The reason why I say about the TDS part, because it seems like every time Trump does something, people got a problem with it, no matter what it is. A lot of the things that he did, other presidents have done it too. But the difference is when they did it, nobody said anything, it was okay. But when he does it, it's a problem. And that's the thing. I knew that it was called the Department of War at first, and then it got changed to the Department of Defense. But a lot of people was in an uproar about it, maybe because it's the Trump administration that did it. Why you change it from that to that? Well, that's what it was at first, and to me, it sounds more better to me. I mean, my opinion. I like it. There's the Department of War anyway, and like I said, that's what it was at first. So I think that right there was a stupid question. And then this part right here, consider changing the name again to the Department of Peace. That's the thing. Everybody a lot of people, even Kamala when she was running, I remember her saying little stuff like this. Peace, love, everybody got to need to get along, and we can bring everybody together. We can bring this world together. These countries, all of us can come together and be peace and love, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work like that with other countries. Countries like North Korea, them, China, them, Russia, them. I mean, it doesn't work like that with those other countries. That's why I was glad that she didn't get in, because if you go to the table with those monsters, sitting around that table like that, man, with them kind of monsters, and you talking this kind of crap, peace, love, that doesn't work with them. To them, that's like, as I said, blood in the water to a shark. And that's my opinion. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, just leave it in the comment section. I would like to know your thoughts about that. So, let's scratch this right here. It's peace, like he says, peace through strength. And those that have read the book of Sun Tzu, The Art of War, it was peace through strength. Now, I want to address this part here, just period. TMZ, you find it out your way at all days, or at all times to so happen to crash, and that's exactly what they did. Like they said, you crashed this man's briefing. They asked him, excuse my language, a dumbass question like that. How does he feel? Matter of fact, what did he say? He said, how do you feel? How does you feel whenever the U.S. military drops bombs on targets? Let me mention this. When Biden was in office and when they were having their briefings, and the borders was wide open for the whole entire 4 years, why did y'all decide to crash their briefing and ask them, President, Mr. President, whoever they sent out there to talk, how does the president feel of having our borders wide open for any and everybody could come in from all these other countries and without being vetted? You didn't crash their briefings to ask something like that. How about this? How does the president feel of people like Lake and Riley and and quite a few of those other young ladies that got snatched up, raped by violent illegal immigrants and murdered? How about the 19-year-old? And this is what I didn't never get. Not even Al Sharpton now, since everything's supposed to be blackity black this and black that, or black people. Said nothing about this one. What about the young lady that was 19 years old, Dakara Thompson? She was young and black, pretty young lady, snatched up by a violent illegal from another country that wasn't supposed to be here, came here illegally through the borders of Joe Biden's that was wide open. Guess what? Snatched her up, raped her multiples of times, repeatedly, and tossed her over the bridge like a trash bag. Not even Al Sharpton came out and said nothing about that. But like I said, I thought, things supposed to be black this and black that. No, you know why they didn't come out and say anything about it? Because it didn't fit their narrative. And so you could be asking that question. Why you didn't ask that question? How do y'all feel about Dakara Thompson? What happened to her? You didn't crash their briefing. They asked them some real deal questions. TMZ, I don't too much care for. I mean, that's just me personally, because we know, what far left side or whatever, that they're on. I mean, if you type, you're in the middle and you'll call out both sides, fine with it. But these folks right here, I don't too much care for them, and nobody on their network. But I just thought this right here was, I mean, you wasted the questions to ask this kind of stuff. Do you feel like you're on a power trip? You could have been asking the Biden administration about your borders being wide open the whole 4 years. Do you feel like that those people bloods are on y'all hands? Where was y'all let in to crash that briefing? To crash those briefing and ask those kind of questions? Doesn't fit the narrative, does it? There's something about the Trump administration, whatever they're doing, is a problem. I like the way Pete Hegseth did it, though. He said, that's a real TMZ question. He already know those folks full of crap. So I like him. And I like it better as the Department of War. And don't believe the hype out there. Well, I ain't gonna say the hype, but don't believe the lies out there that I ran them and then people like CNN and stuff like that, the MSM now and them, they going along with what I ran them be saying, like they winning over there. We are excuse my language, but we are tearing their asses up. And we're hurting China them too, as well. We really did hurt them. But let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this one. Thanks for stopping by the Memphis Conservative channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that like button and share this video and comment down below. I want to know your thoughts on this one. Peace.